So as you can see, I got the nice fresh shave with the fresh haircut. This is a part of the self-improvement process. This is what you do when you self-improve yourself. Now, we're going to make a YouTube video that I've been promising you. I know you guys have been waiting for this video. For the past 7 to 8 months, you've probably been saying, hey, Alexander Oden, I like all your videos, but when you going to finally give us that sex game video about fast cars? Now I'm about to make you that video. You're getting part 1 today. And give me some more research for tomorrow. And then Friday, before I go see the Joker movie, I will give you the second half to the video. Because there's a lot of fast cars in this world that you can get if you're trying to physically, sexually attract women. Because there are a lot of men that want the car because they keep hearing their parents or grandparents get a car. Or they hear their dad or uncle say you got to get a car. And a lot of times you guys got driver's license. A lot of you guys have a car. I'm on the verge of going to driving school to learn how to drive. I mean, I tell you the truth, I should have been doing it 6 years ago, but I didn't have no job yet. And when I got a job, it was only seasonal part-time work. And then when I got a job, on almost 2 years, I wasn't making enough money. And I was trying to get 2 jobs, but my employers were tripping. So that's my issue on why I don't have a car. Because, you know, the purpose of 2 jobs was to try to save up more money so you can make the attempt to do it. And people were just player hating, just straight haters. I'll make a future video called How You Can Tell People Don't Want You to... Well, I already talked about it from a job point of view. But I'm going to talk about it from a different point of view. What happens when you can tell somebody don't want you to get to the next level. I talked about it in self-improvement, but some people still might want some more explaining. Now, these types of cars are cars that you see in movies, television shows, billboards, pictures, on the internet, and you see in the magazines. These are the type of cars that a lot of guys want, but have to get 2 jobs or 3 jobs to make the attempt to get this type of car. And even with 2 jobs or 3 jobs, you would barely have enough to get this type of car. Now, I'm going to start off with these 3 types of cars first. Now, let's start off with the Tesia Roadster. It's got a funny looking car. It's either a German car, a Russian car, or an Italian car. I will research that. So when I make part 2, I can tell you what kind of car it is, but I know for a fact that they say it's an Italian car. Now, this is by far one of the fastest cars in the world. It has, I think, 250 miles per hour. That's how fast it can go. This car was created like maybe 4 years ago, but it's not even out yet until 2020, which is next year. So if you're a multi-billionaire or a millionaire, you could easily buy 2 or 3 of these like it ain't nothing. Now this car, you can get women to literally, and I mean literally, dump their boyfriend or their husband and come out with you to lunch and dinner for a cup of coffee. Like, this car will make the woman think long and hard about the guy she blew off in high school and college. So to get this kind of car, you might need 2 or 3 jobs for this type of car. Because this car is like around, its asking price starts off at $2,000. But you do know that when this car do come out, the price could change from $2,000 to like maybe $15,000 or $20,000. And the average American don't make nowhere near close to that amount to even get this car. This type of car, if you got the money for it, then life's great. Now, you can get this car in any color. You know, you can get it in black, white, blue, red, lighter colors, darker colors. I think this might be the car that might be limited. So if you're like a billionaire that just love to collect cars, you can add this into your collection. Now, if you're a guy trying to pick up girls in Hollywood, West Hollywood, Beverly Hills, Santa Monica, Century City, and of course, the Grove, then this car is for you. Trust me, you will get so much attention with this car that people that didn't want to talk to you in high school and college will be trying to get a hold of your Facebook when they find out you post this car on Facebook, which I don't think that's a good idea, because that might make you into a target, and then people might try to rob the car and sell the car 10 times over to double their money in the value of this car. So yeah, they call it the Tesia Roadster. It's got a funny looking name, so you know it's an Italian car. You know it's a foreign car when you can't pronounce the name properly. And this car comes out next year. You go to those auto car shops or auto car conventions where they have every car in the world at that convention. You'll see this car here. Maybe by 2021 or maybe 2022, you might even go to a car auction where you might see that same car being sold to someone else. Like someone like a famous actor in Hollywood. Like, let's say somebody like George Clooney or Leonardo DiCaprio have that type of cash. I know for a fact George Clooney might have close to that amount. I know Leonardo DiCaprio might have it, depending on what movie role varies. But my point is, you would see them drive this type of car in a movie. And what's good about this car is that you could probably remake the movie Knight Rider and have that car in that movie. Because this car, I would call this like the car of the future, so to speak. And do not be trying to joyride at nighttime with this car in Century City and Santa Monica, because you might get 10 to 15, maybe 20 police cars chasing you down the street with this type of car, because this car goes 250 miles per hour. It goes faster than the bus. It goes faster than the average car. Like, you will be thinking you're the Flash or Superman in this car. And you will attract a lot of women. You're going to attract so much women with this car. With this car, you'll get out of the 80%. And to the 20%, they get all the chicks with this type of car, if you got that type of cash. Usually, if you're a professional basketball player, a football player, a baseball player, or an actor, or you sell stocks and bonds, you can get this type of car. You may not get it when it first come out. It might be 5 or 6, might even be 7 years later before you get this car. But when you get this car, just remember you're going to get 85 to 90% of the attention. You're going to get attention 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year with this car. You're going to be wishing you could say timeout in a basketball game. That's how serious it is with this car. Next one is the Aston Martin Vaikyrle car. Now, it's named after a famous billionaire or millionaire or a engineer who made this car for a billionaire in a foreign country. Now, this car is already out in and around the country. Now, it's probably already here in the United States, but not too many people know of the existence of this car. If they do, only a few people. You would only know if you go to all the auto car conventions where they have all the world's fastest cars at. I've probably only gone to one car convention, maybe once. I am going to start going back. I only went one time, but that was only because my dad was trying to show my younger brother at a car auction how you buy a car before he even bought a car. Now, this car is also by far the fastest car in the world. It itself can go 250 miles per hour. And you can get this car in limited colors. Black, white, blue, red. That's I think it starts in one color, white. If it's black, red, or blue, it could cost more money. It's just like basketball shoes. If you want them in a different color, they're just going to cost more money. Now with this car, you would have to be rich and famous. No matter how you slice it or dice it, no ifs and buts about it, you got to be rich and famous to even attain this car. If you think trying to save up money for 5 to 10 years is a challenge, even after you save up 5 or 10 years worth of cash, you still might struggle getting this car because its asking price is $3.2 million for the Aston Martin Valkyrie car. Now with this car, you're going to attract a lot of gold digging women. Now I'm not saying all women are gold diggers, so I don't want the all police to come up in here and prosecute me. I made a video for men who want to know, does getting these type of cars even help you get women? So women, calm down, chill out. It's not an attack on women. It's not a woman bashing video. It's me trying to explain to the men what they're going to get themselves into and what are the consequences of your actions if you buy a car and you don't know what type of attention you're going to get. This type of car, it's already been put in movies and television shows. This type of car, if you love video games, chances are you've probably seen this car in a video game and probably fantasize while waking up after playing your PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4 or Xbox 360. I want that car. This is they call this the bad boy car. This is the player's car. This is every bad boy, every player's fantasy car come true. You get this car, you will be able to pick up 10 to 15, maybe 20 women everywhere you go. Every time you go somewhere, a woman will just hand you the phone number. You won't even have to spit game anymore. This is something that these stupid, delusional pickup artists and dating coaches do not want to talk about in their 2-hour, 3-hour, 4-hour seminar. All they want to do is talk about buy my books, buy my DVDs, watch my YouTube videos, and learn some game. With this car, the car is the game. The car will do all the talking for you. Now, will some guys use this car to try to get the girl to just say yes to lunch and dinner because they don't want to put in the work and the dedication? I'm sure somebody will try that foolishly and disappointingly, but the purpose of this car is that it's very fast. And again, do not drive this car out Monday through Friday in dangerous environments because they will rob your car. And they will try to sell your car 10 times over for the value so they can make themselves into a multi-millionaire. You got to be a billionaire or a millionaire to afford this car. You drive in places like Beverly Hills, you ain't got to worry about spitting no game. You go to Santa Monica, you ain't got to worry about asking for a girl's phone number. Before you can even spit any game, the girl will already give you the phone number before you can even display if you even have any game. And the car will do the talking for you. It's your job not to mess up once you accomplish that goal. Next car, this is a brand new car that's also probably coming out in 2020 if it's not already out. This one has a long name, so bear with me. It's called the SSC Ultimate Aero XT. This is known as a hybrid car. You could use it as a racing car, or you can just use it as a regular vehicle. Now, this one is very, very expensive. Not as expensive as the last car, but this one is brand new. This one has not been released to the public. And this one is even faster than the other two cars that I presented. This one can go 256 miles per hour. And it's got anywhere between 200 to like maybe 400 plus horse engine power. You know, and it is asking price is $750,000 to $850,000. Now with this, you probably will have to be a multi-millionaire or a billionaire to even acquire this car. You know, this is a very expensive car. It's very limited. It might make anywhere between 100 to maybe 120 copies of this car. And if you're not George Clooney or Leonardo DiCaprio, if you're not Robert Downey Jr., you're not going to be able to afford this type of car. This type of car is called a luxury car. This is the car that guys would probably use if they could score. And you do know what scoring is. I'm trying to keep this video as PG as I possibly can, okay? We don't want YouTube to demonetize my videos and then punish me because I'm not following the quote-unquote community guidelines. But this is by far one of the most expensive. I mean, the one that's 3.2 million is still expensive, but this one is the second expensive, but it's the newest car. This one you're going to see in movies, television shows. If you're like Daniel Craig playing James Bond, you probably would have that James Bond type of money to get this type of car. I'm just trying to tell you, this is a very fast car. In fact, you probably could create a new Batmobile for a Batman movie that's futuristic with this type of car. They call it a hybrid car because there's a special type of gas that this car requires. Like, you just can't go to any gas station for this car. You gotta have some type of special gas. So this is only part 1 of my video. Friday, I'll come back with part 2 because I need to do some more research. There's other sports cars and fast cars for your pleasure of entertainment. So until then, peace.